Jerwa here with my hexagon base, doing a walkthrough since it's mostly done. Originally started as a platform, sort of the style made popular by Grand Spartan. So usually it would be spiked all the way out to the edges, but I'm in the process of converting it from the turrets up here and spike platform to sort of my diamond fall trap. This would be sort of version 2. This side of the underground farm. Plots for every crop, a couple of duplicates, like cotton for painting and stuff. There are 25s in the center. The outer ones are larger plots. There's an entrance on this side and on the other side there. See, inset pillars. These are my light emitting pillars. This specific block is actually using the torch emitter you can see in the reflections, even though you can't see a light here. Fully upgraded at the steel tier, it looks like this, with visible flame. In the center here, got all my workbenches, storage, all set behind poles, just in case. I'm not sure if that would protect them should zombie break into this level. Lots of forges. See, the ring made it so the spikes are visible and repairable here, but the floor is 2 blocks deep, so even if they break that spike and fall into that, break the next block, they will still be on top of blocks and will not be able to break their way in. Lots and lots of fences. Just got a couple up here for the initial hit, try to get a stun on them so that they don't hit the walls around the entrance there on their way down. Just a temporary spot here. Got my generators in here. This is Vanilla Light. It's Ceiling Light 05, but for whatever reason you can't craft it. It's one of very few electric lights I've found that casts light further than 4 blocks. And that's, a really common complaint about the electric lights. Most of them stop at 4 blocks. The street light's the exception. Spotlight and Ceiling Light 05, it turns out. These painted blocks are actually concrete structure, but relay enabled. So this is where my power is coming through. Don't have my wiring tool on my figures, but so all this is all downstairs, this is all upstairs. It's just a switch wired into this, and then this is wired into everything else. The stairs all the way down is kind of a mess. I'm not really sure, like on this level, what I want to do. This level's also one off. My fault for not going all the way down first. But each level looks like this. So no matter which block they're falling through, every block except the floor blocks and 1 ceiling block per level is electrified with fences. These are metal siding. It's actually to make that column solid, floor to ceiling, just as if there were 50 pillars there. Knocked them out so that I can walk through here. And then, like I said, these are our relays. So this relay is wired to each of these normal relays, and then these relays are wired down. I did it this way just so the wires would be visible, and I think it looks kind of cool. Each layer, each floor down, has another entrance here. Again, this is metal siding so that this entire column all the way to the top is solid as far as structure is concerned. On each level there is another Ceiling Light 05 behind some glass, so it's not super bright to you, but it does shine outwards. You can see we have many floors down to the fighting pit. This is based on my original diamond from Alpha 15. I've extended it to be wider. Otherwise, it's the same. It's the same width this way, but it's longer this direction. I've done it this way so because bodies, even in the middle, you can reach from the outside. This is also my new 2 down, 1 up rotation on the poles to give you a nice big fighting window. You can actually jump and crouch through them, The only zombie I've ever had come over this configuration is a dog, and it was a glitch. So if you have anything like spikes that will hit them, it seems to stop them from glitching. I've also got electric fences protecting all of the cardinal blocks. I don't have the diagonals protected, but all the way around the fighting pit here. These are again the ceiling light 05s, and you can see they cast light, even if just barely, all the way to the ground despite being 5 up. On this side, same thing, although I don't know if I'm going to be fighting here. What I've got here is 4 motion sensors on staggered delays, so it's a 1 second, a 2 second, 3 second, and 4 second delay wired across 2 shotgun turrets, so that one is no delay. And then should something survive long enough, it will just successfully turn on more and more turrets. It's mostly to stop them from firing in unison. I had this problem in my first base with Alpha 16. You get a cop or something fall down, 3 or 4 turrets all fire at once, and then a second cop would fall and they'd all be on cooldown. It's a bad time, so hopefully the delay will stop that. I've not actually tested this yet. There's the one upstairs. I have 1 turret upstairs still active just for roamers since all the spikes are gone. And we're all the way down at bedrock here. I've covered it in plates and painted it just because I find this texture a little obnoxious. I've got some underspike lighting here. Again, ceiling light 50s. These are the electric fences that are up against blocks on the inside of the pit, just to kind of protect them a little. And from bottom here, and for anyone that doesn't know, the fall shaft, that's just a hay bale. You take no damage. You can fall from any distance onto a hay bale. And then this side's a hatch elevator to get back up. And then each of the floors in between. This one's unique because it's got the protectors for the inner ring. Just want to show that off and how I'm lighting that pit. Good old street light. They've made them non-craftable in Alpha 16 for some reason. I just added the recipes back in. The reason I'm using these, and this is clearly broken and I'm going to use it anyway, is you can see that is shining straight onto this block. There's no way that light should go all the way down, but if you come down here you can see that it does. So streetlights basically ignore blocks in their way, and it's really nice for overhead lighting. They also cast light for 12 blocks or something like that. There's no other electric lights besides the spotlight that are on that same tier. Just got one more. So you can see this is the standard. Every floor from here up looks just like this. And yes, this equates to hundreds of electric fences. Should be a pretty good time. In version 1 of this setup, I had pretty good success with this and had blade traps at the top. But since I'm using a 5x5 fall shaft all the way to the top, blade traps really won't reach where the zombies will normally be falling through, so I just went pure electric fences. There you go. As far as powering all this, it would be a nightmare using the really crappy generators, so I've done some pretty extensive editing, and you can see the power draw, and this is just downstairs, and this is upstairs with just 1 turret active. Speaking of upstairs, in my original test of this base, that's actually where I put all my workstations and stuff because there was no fall trap. So this is just a hexagon shaped using quarter blocks so that you can see down and shoot through. I've got plenty of videos of what a horde fight from this setup looks like. Again, with street lights, they work really nice from this high up. I've got them all on a relay timer there so they turn themselves on. 4 turrets up here, which I will be removing eventually, but on individual switches, so only one's on right now. The floor above. For support, I'd like doing something like this. Basically, it's a solid block into a wedge block into a wedge stair tip instead of a regular tip, because there's no good join for the corners that matches the glass, because those are glass plates, bulletproof glass. I find that they line up quite nicely with the stair tips, whereas the wedge tips are thinner than the plate is, so you get a weird lip there. is what the room itself looks like. Again, decent size, not huge, but in my testing it was more than enough for a bunch of workbenches and concrete mixers and all that good stuff. Have access up onto the roof. Mostly this is good for putting auto turrets. Aim them so that they cannot see down. They're basically pointing straight out, and they will kill all of your stupid vultures. I hate them. Again, in my Horde videos you can see I have to run out of my base to go hunt down the vultures because they're keeping waves alive, you know, longer than they should be. But there you go. I mean, it's not quite done. Normally I would have another wing that looks like this one underground for trees and things of that nature, but I think my investment in Alpha 16 is kind of coming to a close, and we'll get back up in 17. But this base works pretty good. I mean, the last Horde I ran was game stage 2200 or so. The only difference between how it looks now, you know, as a platform base, all the way to the end game stages would just be more turrets. I mean, instead of 4 turrets in the center, I'd move a center turret, probably 2 on each side, like one here, pointed in from all 4 sides, so that you brought it up to 8 turrets, and that would probably be enough to deal all the way with game stage 4000. And if not, you could always put 4 turrets out there and leave these 4 in here, so on and so forth. Turrets are pretty much the solution to game stage problems. But as a fall trap, basically this is to keep it closed during the day. I don't like roamers falling in there. I'll probably put 1 auto turret up here to deal with screamers that wander into the base. And then for Horde Night, just open them up like so. They act as a backstop. Zombies do not see these openings as a whole because there is a pole block that I've put, you know, for each one of these blocks there is a pole, so that this opening looks solid as far as their pathing is concerned. So they don't see this as a way to you. They will not come to this opening on purpose, but if you are underneath, they will run past here, you know, trying to get above you, and then the back of this hatch will stop them and they will fall in. Generally these hatches take maybe 3-4 hits a Horde Night. I've never had the wooden ones break. Interestingly enough, if you upgrade them to the scrap iron hatch, those, for whatever reason, must be detected as an obstacle. They tend to take much greater damage, including losing a couple of them during Horde Night, which, I mean, doesn't really hurt anything, but just something to keep in mind. These wood ones I've had better luck with. But there you have it. It's kind of, you know, fun base, works well, scales really well. I just wanted a slightly different shape than the sort of standard square or rectangle or whatever. See, I mean, eventually I'd have made it all steel up here. Very rarely does it take enough damage for that to matter too much. I mean, cops are the only thing that damage up here at all. While they're coming in, they will spit at the outside edges, and while they're underneath, they will spit up at you. So if you're going to be involved in the Horde, you do actually want to upgrade all that stuff to steel over time. You can see I've just cloned the shape there, and I'm just going to do, you know, maybe a second or even third one just to see what it looked like. And we change this, you can see the ball shaft all the way down. Take a couple hidden land claim blocks in here. Every floor looks almost identical, and you can see we're running from the surface all the way down to bedrock. The bottom layer is the one that sticks out a little. It's a little bit wider to give enough room on the sides here to move around and fight. And there you have it.